then have ourselves Sp4ghet once again taking on Trichter. So off of a 2-1 loss to Stefan, we'll see if he can fully reset coming into this game against the Belgian player.
Yes, always a bit difficult to play back-to-back. I know that. It is getting I mean, it doesn't look like it, but it is exhausting. So maybe an advantage for Trichter here. We have the stats very, very similar, I must say. There's not a huge difference. Of course, Trichter with a higher win rate and a higher precision overall.
44.
A bit better on the board.
It's kind of impressive to me that Trichter has such a long average guessing time. It must mean that he hasn't played against MK or Sp4ghet yet, because he wouldn't be allowed to have such a high average if he had been playing against those guys.
Probably, but yeah, I know Trichter does like to take his time on the rounds, really looking into everything he has on every location. And we have Bismarck on the sign. Is that a Bismarck in North Dakota? By the looks, I want to say that Dakotas could make sense here.
A waterhead
we
would
do
make
know
sense.
The US with their place names and how you find the same city name in every single state.
Trichter committing to Terry. I didn't see the sign close outside of the Bismarck there. If maybe is it Terry somewhere there as well? Because if it did, that could be an incredibly qualified guess. Sp4ghet now opening up the map, looking towards Idaho, further towards us, now swinging. Did he get his guess in?
Yes.
Oh, he did. It was just earlier. Okay, that had been confused. But look at that, Trichter. He did, in fact, get the city down. 5K lined up. Great start for him.
Yep. Starting off a very strong, good find from Trichter. And we move over to the next round. We have some acai palms there in the distance, which makes me think we are in the north in Brazil. Area codes not on this billboard, but I would assume that's what players are looking for right now. I think we should be in a mapa.
Oh, Trichter, quick to log in once again. We'll see if Sp4ghet opts to follow. Brazil, as you say, kind of given. As we do hop up towards the map, but they're both in the same city now at this point as well. Do we get our first 10K of the day? Is it going to be the case? The first 10K of many days? Nope, not quite to be. And it's going to be Trichter closer once again.
Yep. Very straightforward round for those players, if you know how the mapa coverage looks like.
Yet another Western round. I was saying it earlier today. I mean, last week it was all about the US, and well, seems like today ain't no different.
Nope. Doesn't seem to change. What's an area code? I don't know if Trichter did learn area codes. He's looking at the sign. Seems like he has a Michigan vibe, because that's where he zoomed on. Oh, I think he zoomed into Wisconsin, something like that.
I was just thinking, because I lived in Wisconsin for a year, and I feel like 952 was, if not Wisconsin, then Minneapolis, like Minnesota. I just feel like I remember starting phone numbers with 952, but I could be wrong.
I mean, there are so many area codes on this track. There's a 952, 320.
That is true.
So, which one is it? But they both end up guessing Minneapolis, just outside.
Was close. Was close for sure, and still, Trichter able to maintain his flawless scoreline as we go into round number 4.
We do move on, and we are in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you usually have the state given on signs, as we do here on Trichter's side, Port Harcourt. Does Sp4ghet also get to the information he needs here?
Always plenty of signs available, but rarely are they all that crucial info-wise, as Sp4ghet will find the city as well, both set next to one another. Minimal damage will come through once again, make it a grand total of 5.
Both got the information on different signs. Really shows how easy it is to find the town or the state in Nigeria. It's in a lot of signs. Well,
this time around, once again, as the score sees, prediction favoring Trichter with this guess. Both of them set on average over 4,000. Impressive score lines.
That is impressive indeed. We are in urban South Africa. What would you need here? Again, area codes can be pretty helpful in South Africa. They follow a pretty good pattern. Besides that, I must say urban rounds can be quite tricky in South Africa, especially because a lot of place names did change over time. They do have a lot of towns that change their names, so you will have it written differently on Google Maps than it is on the signs.
Trichter going somewhat center-south. Sp4ghet over on the eastern side of Lesotho, but Trichter with the better guess this time around. Once again, quite a bit of distance in between the two. I thought for a second it might be game, but no, not quite. Sp4ghet down to 824 health now as we make our way in to round number 6.
That is a lot of points, especially in moving. If you have that advantage, that's already very promising. However, we don't have any information here at all.
Still, despite that, a pretty zoomed-in guess from Sp4ghet here.
Yep.
Might know something. Trichter. Yep. Almost in the exact same location too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ridge going along here. It's in a couple parks, but this one is pretty recognizable. Sp4ghet breaking the flawless there, getting some points down from Trichter.
About time that they do. About time that he does. So get into round number 7. And, yeah, instantly down the street we go.
Yep. And we are, again, in the Americas. This time it is Mexico. Pretty clear to tell from that saying Mexicano on the sign. Now, what would we need in Mexico? I mean, if you have learned your zip codes, you see those from time to time. Often on street signs, they have their zip codes in Mexico, which can help, definitely. Also not that easy to learn, because there are a lot of cities, a lot of different zip codes.
When in doubt, go Mexico City. Rainbow once told me that. Well, seems like Sp4ghet is gonna commit, but I don't think he's in doubt. I don't think he's in doubt at all. As a matter of fact, he's lining up small roads here. Could have found something very, very useful. He's gonna need it. He's behind by over 5,000 health, and he is gonna be close. It might not be a 5K, but nonetheless, it's a good location for him to be in. Unfortunately for him, Trichter was there as well, so minimal damage done.
Yep, and that's what I meant with the moving games. Even though when Sp4ghet gets a very close guess down, the chance that your opponent is somewhere nearby and not that far off is big, which makes it very challenging for Sp4ghet to turn this game around. However, we are in Russia, and we do know a lot of upsets, a lot of game switches. Lead switches did happen in Russia in this league.
Big map, big country, big points, usually, or at least can go hand in hand. Limited info to work with here as well. Neither of these two, as we're getting into the 20-second mark, has even opened the map yet. What are you thinking here, Jotus?
I think we're somewhere northwest around St. Petersburg. Given those pine forests along the road, that's where Sp4ghet did plonk, and I would...
Ooh, Trichter, Moscow. Two big cities, opting to jump for each theirs. Sp4ghet is up towards the north. He's gonna be closer as well, 500 kilometers closer to the target, and that's gonna be enough! Wow, Sp4ghet able to turn it around, and you can see instantly Trichter bobbing his head, going, okay, that was on me. Full focus mode. We cannot let this one slip away now, because he almost had him. He almost took him down, but not quite to be.
No, and that is Russia for you, Toby. That is Russia for you. It really gives you the opportunities you need in this case. Of course, for Sp4ghet, I don't know if Trichter tried to play it safe with a Moscow guess because he knew he has the lead. Or if he actually had that vibe for Moscow. We don't know. Players tend to make different guesses the closer it gets towards the end of the match because, you know, The multis ramp up, and you just have to be high up with your health than your opponent to just win.
Yeah.
But in that case, the commitment did pay off for Sp4ghet.
Oh, yeah.
And now we are back again in Russia. This time it is round 1. No
Yep.
multis, not big damage. So even though they are pretty far from each other here.
Yeah, I was gonna say not big damage. You might actually beat decent sized damage if Trichter keeps going further towards the west here. Sp4ghet is all the way over in Novosibirsk, and it is gonna be even further east than where he was. So, well, you say not big damage in round 1, but still, that's half Trichter's health done. He has taken 10,000 damage in 2 rounds of Russia.
That round on round 3 would have been game already. No matter what the health bar is telling you. But now it seems like we are in Germany. Trichter is pretty good at Germany. Definitely a better country than Russia for him.
Sp4ghet is in Belgium.
It should be Germany though.
I was thinking it kind of looks like Denmark with the vibe, so can you assume that it's then going to be northern Germany? I'm not quite sure. The whole like setup, the way the bricks, the buildings and aesthetics just gives me very Danish vibes, even though I know it's not Denmark.
We have an Aldi store there, and they are separated in north and south in Germany.
Don't go Denmark, Sp4ghet, don't do it.
But in this case, I don't know, is it Aldi North or is it Aldi South? I can't tell, but by the architecture I do agree, it looks more northern. And Sp4ghet did change to a better guess, definitely like that, yes, more now.
Yeah, both in and around Bremen. And, well, it is going to be down in between Münster and Dortmund. But nonetheless, good on him for hopping out of Belgium. Hovering Denmark for a second. My man had me worried, but not the case.
Not this time. And we are in around 3 now of the bet, looking like Chile or Argentina.
This is where Walter White parked his car. Nope, maybe not.
It's pretty far from where we parked this car, I think. But by the vibes, like by the looks, I do agree. I do agree. It can look like that area of the world as well. But yeah, I think it should be Chile. More likely.
Definitely could be. Sp4ghet first one to log in. Trichter still with 7 seconds left to work with. Out on the west coast. Maybe we can go a bit further inland. Nope, not quite. There's a bit of distance in between their guesses. And it's going to be Trichter closer this time around. 900 damage done to Sp4ghet. He needs it. He needs to start clawing back. A lot of damage really has been done considering the fact that this was only round 3.
Yeah. I mean, look at the health bars. You would assume you are further into the game, but no, we are just starting off.
Exactly.
Things and off the bat, I want to say this looks like Yukon. Yes, and we have both players going into Yukon. That mountain range could be the one along the one. Yeah, the Haynes Junction. I do like that from Sp4ghet. A nerd like me would check the dot on the road because you get a little smudge there.
Yeah, 20 seconds to work with. Still both spinning around as much as can be. Beautiful mountain location there in the distance as well. Sp4ghet looking down towards Silver City. Maybe he has something lined up. Trichter's there to join him.
I do like that guess a lot. I mean, we see the big mountains towards the west. And from this road, especially on the east-west span, that does make a lot of sense. It was further down. Really hard to tell which mountains we are looking at because all of those mountains are pretty big and go in a very long ridge. But yeah, I think they did need a bit more time maybe to get the right alignment.
Great, total of 12 damage being done as we go from one mountainous location to another, at least foresty one. And Sp4ghet sets up on the western side of Eswatini. What sends him here?
Yes, I mean, you mentioned it already. The forest. You have a lot of pine-ish. Are those pines? I'm not even sure if those are pines, but you get a lot of these forests around Eswatini. Not necessarily, though, because you can also get them along the south. So if you
That's exactly where Trichter's going. Once again, a 50-50, and it's going to be even further east. Trichter frustrated with that one. It could be enough, and indeed it will be game because of it. Frustrations on his face. And he seemed so comfortable with the initial guess as well, but not happy in the end of it. So Sp4ghet, despite falling earlier in his previous match,